Halo Infinite Season 5 is here, and although I say this every time, I think this may truly be Halo Infinite's best season yet. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all the new additions and improvements the season has made, while also talking about what I think the game needs to do next. But of course, without wasting any more of your time, let's jump straight in. First things first, let's talk about the new maps, Forbidden and Prism. Both of these are absolutely fantastic additions to the arena map lineup. Forbidden is definitely clearly the more competitive of the two, and its layout feels much more linear, being made up of various open corridors. Despite feeling quite large, gameplay on here feels very quick, and it definitely makes up for some very intense matches too. As for Prism, it feels much more chaotic in design, and I don't mean that as an insult in any shape or form. Visually, of course, the map is stunning and has some really cool hazards coming in the form of Blamite geodes that when shot will explode and track down enemy players if they're close enough. Also, interestingly, rather than traditional power weapons, this actually has a campaign variant of the needler in the center of the map, which if used correctly can be very deadly. And I actually like this choice. It's cool to see the campaign variant implemented into a more traditional multiplayer match without needing to play Super Fiesta or something like that. Although it's not a new weapon, seeing it in this context, being able to use it in normal arena matches makes it feel fresh. When it comes to maps, I think the two new ones that we've had are amazing, but I am still disappointed in the lack of any form of BTB map. As someone that primarily plays BTB, this was a little disappointing to hear, and obviously not having anything new, I don't really have much of an incentive to currently play Big Team Battle. Of course, there's always the chance that we'll have some community-made Forge maps added to BTB or Squad Battle later on in the season, and if that does happen, then fair enough, that's a huge win. And although I love the two new arena maps we've had, I do feel somewhat disappointed that there isn't anything new for Big Team Battle. Not yet, at least. Moving on, we've also had the addition of a new weapon variant, the Bandit Evo. This is a variation of the Bandit rifle that now has a scope. And although that doesn't sound all that different, the weapon just feels much nicer to use. I have nothing against the Bandit, but something about the Evo just feels so pristine, so perfect, that I can't help but pick it up every single time I come across it. Customisation's also seen some huge improvements, that coming in the form of cross-core helmets. And although that itself doesn't sound like a massive change, trust me when I tell you that Spartans are looking the drippiest they ever have. I've loved seeing the different ways that the Halo community have mixed and matched different helmets onto different armor cores and how well some of them fit onto those other pieces of armor. We do also have a few cross-core coatings. Some from older seasons have now been made compatible with every single armor core. And of course, every new one that's released this season will also be immediately released for every core too, and you won't need to unlock them separately either. I already spent more time in the armor hall than I did in matches anyway, and that time is only going to increase by a seriously unhealthy degree. We of course have a new battle pass that comes with some really cool cosmetics, bringing back some fan favourite reach helmets, some new armor pieces for the Mark 5B core, plenty of amazing coatings, and even some flood armor too. The store itself hasn't really seen any changes other than what seems to be an increase in prices. This is likely done down to the whole cross-core thing. Now every helmet in any bundle can be used on every core, and certain bundles that just contain coatings, like Fire and Frost, seem to also have an increase, not over their original price, but what their sale prices were in things like the Winter Update. Sure, these coatings are now compatible with everything, but it does feel a little disappointing that 343 have felt the need to increase the prices on some of these items. That being said though, thanks to the updates to customization, you will have plenty of options without spending a penny. A new player can jump on Infinite for the first time, have access to all 8 armor cores and all of the different helmets across each of those cores that they can mix and match with. And there is plenty of default coatings too. You have all the cadet coatings, the hazmat coating, and the steel series coatings. And then there is even free ones in the battle pass, and there'll be free ones in future events. So you do still have plenty of variety even without spending money. That's not to say there shouldn't be more, and I'm not defending these prices in any regard. I'm more so trying to imply that you don't need to spend money to have a fun time on this game. We have also received a new mode, that being Extraction, however I'm yet to have the chance to actually play it. So unfortunately this isn't one that I'm really going to comment on, but I am very much looking forward to trying it out myself. And then finally, the biggest addition to Season 5, the addition of Campaign AI in Forge. This has allowed players to create some insane firefight experiences. We already have quite a few that you can try out now. I mean, all you have to do is take a quick peek at the customs browser and I guarantee you'll probably find one. But there isn't just typical firefight experiences either, as I've also noticed some PvPvE maps and modes. So there's an abundance of fun experiences for players to try out, and of course you do get XP and customs now, so you can level up your battle pass the way you want to. You are limited to 7,500 XP and customs a day, which to be fair is a pretty high amount. That being said though, it doesn't seem like you can earn any more than 120 per match, which I do think needs to see somewhat of an increase. It seems like there's plenty of players also working on more linear PvE experiences, almost something akin to Spartan Ops or actual campaign missions, and I'm very excited to see what players do with these new tools, and I can't wait to actually try and build some stuff myself. Now I think that sums up all of the main stuff that I've currently experienced from what I've played, and yeah, I've had a ton of fun. As opposed to Season 4's launch, which I think felt very lackluster, but did end up being a really good season, so far I think Season 5's launch has been absolutely amazing, and it truly is the most I've enjoyed the game in quite a long time. And fingers crossed things only get better from here. We know mid-season we'll be getting Firefight King of the Hill alongside a new piece of equipment. We also have some new events to look forward to, and I wouldn't be surprised if 343 are cooking up a few surprises along the way. But anyway, that sums up everything I've got to talk about today. I'm curious to hear what you all think of Season 5 down below. What have you experienced? What have you enjoyed the most? Or maybe you're not enjoying it? If so, how come? But anyway, with all that out of the way, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.